Alright. And we're off. One of the streams might be behind. I'll go ahead and fix this real quick, but once again, I hope everyone's doing well. We're in for a treat today. We got two really good racers racing today. We got CastleWarrior and GamerSquiddy. Just to give a little update on where things have been, we kind of been out for a little bit. We had a little bit of a break this past week, which is no big deal, but we've only got a couple matches left. So currently, there's the losers semifinals match, and then we'll do the losers finals match, and then the finale. So we have, this is basically the third to last match. Really crazy. This is technically a 4th place match, so I'm pretty excited for today. Both these runners have made a solid run during losers, the entire losers bracket. What's up, Flash? Thanks for the raid. Hope everyone from Flash's stream is doing well. Hope the choice chamber attempts went well. Flash, if you're free, you're welcome to hop on commentary with me. I'm in the SPM tournament server currently. Or, well, I can join the voice chat, but it's always good to have 2 people commentate. It's up to you, though. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Like I said, 2 great runners. What's up, Scrubby? What's up, Classic Man? Castle, what's up? Good luck on the run. Good luck, Squiddy, as well. I'm really excited. The last match we did was, Mohawk and Teddy, which was, that was our best race yet. Even though Teddy didn't finish, it went right to the very end. So, it was, it was really exciting. And I'm hoping both racers end up finishing today. It's gonna be quite interesting. This is literally Castle's 2nd tournament race. Yeah, so this tournament has kind of been suffering from some dropouts. Yeah, we had a couple people just drop out of the tournament, which is unfortunate. It happens. You know, I literally only did 2 tournament races and I got the losers run too. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, what's up, Flash? 539 is gonna happen. Castle's calling it right now. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see where this goes, because I feel like both these runners are evenly matched. I don't exactly know who has the better PB. But, there's... Each of them have, like, a couple advantages over each other. I'd say both of them are pretty good at mashing, but Castle's, to me, always been the best SPM masher. So, we'll see. There's so many things that go into this run, and then you get to the pit, and it's just a wildfire of RNG, so I hope everyone enjoys it. Got bets on Squiddy in the chat. It could really go either way. This is gonna be fun. So, I'm excited. SPM Mash World Champ, also the Crash Percent World Record holder, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations on your feat there, Castle. Very good. Okay, I might as well talk about some stuff in the notes here. So obviously, this game has a lot of text mashing. Thankfully, with this category, we really only see a lot of text mashing here at the beginning. Probably like like this prologue and 1-1 and the intermission are probably going to be our most text mashing cutscenes. Since it's the pit, there's really no text in the pit besides if you buy items, but we'll get to all that later. It's not too big of a deal, but if you have really good mashing, you can genuinely like save a lot of time over someone who you know, doesn't have that great mashing, you know, aka me. So I think I looked back in the VOD and Squiddy saved like 10 seconds to me over in like during the intermission where it was just mashing. So that it really like it adds up because there's just so much text mashing in this game. So you saw the first trick we did there. Normally you're supposed to go down an elevator, but you can literally just jump off the left side of the flip side tower there, and you'll land like right next to the pillar. So but yeah, the prologue is just, we've zipped through it already. You guys can let me know if the audio is good. I feel like I might need to turn up the game audio a little bit. Just want to make sure everything's good. This is the first time I've hosted in a solid minute, so I'm hoping it's I just hope it works, honestly. So, but yeah, like I've said, I mean, this has been a really fun tournament so far. It's had its ups and downs. We kind of had like a break this last week. Just a bunch of people, like I was finishing my finals for school. A bunch of people just weren't really focused on, you know, this tournament, and that's fine, but I think over the next few days we're looking to finish it up. Like I said, I mean, we got 3 more matches. This is the 3rd to last match here. I don't believe we're doing a 3rd place match. Yeah, I doubt it, because we would need to wait till after the finale to do that, I'm pretty sure. Or actually no, we really, like, 3rd place is literally going to be just losers finals. I'm speaking to myself here. Great prologues for both runners. That was about, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the streams. I don't know how accurate this all is. Hopefully everything's looking well so far. Yeah, both runners are basically even right now. As expected, in my book. I hope there's not too many, you know, hiccups, especially in this early part with the streams. I hope everything runs smoothly, cause I mean, I got like, I had a power outage earlier. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen again. Had some internet problems, but hopefully everything works out and everything's fine. You know, I see my stream ticker going into the red, like right as I say that, so that's great. But you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, both runners heading into 1-1. This is actually a very important level for the run, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. We're gonna start off. You're gonna see these runners grab a coin at the very beginning of this level. The reason they're doing that is that it skips text boxes at the very end when you get the flip ability. We're only gonna be using 2 characters during this run. We'll be using Mario and Peach. You can normally use Bowser and Luigi if you do any percent, but however, we're only gonna be going up to chapter 2-1, and that's about it. So there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna be skipping in this run. I mean, we're skipping basically 80% of, you know, the main game. So it's quite interesting. But the key for this category here is to get leveled up early, and the first level up grind section is going to be at the very beginning of this level. Well, in a couple rooms from now, but there's a squid grind that's very important that the runners get somewhere, I mean, at the very least, somewhere around like 25,000, I think it is, like somewhere around that, at least to get like a level up or 2, is very important, especially for this run, because there's so much that can go wrong with the pit, and it's important to be level up early. So we'll see if the runners are able to do that. There's a couple other things I'm going to talk about. So as I mentioned, Mario has the flip ability. He's the only person that can flip. And the runners are going to be getting their first items. They're going to be getting a Shell Shock and possibly the Shroom Shake. Both of them got it. Shroom Shake is very important, I think, to get for this run, because you never know when you're going to be needed to heal. And then the runners also picked up a Fire Burst. I'll go ahead and explain what each item does. The Shell Shock is going to be used in a room for Pit. I'll get to it later. And the Fire Burst will be used for the intermission cutscene after Chapter 1-4 is over. So, this room, I mean, a lot of these levels in early game are really, I guess you could say linear. I mean, it's really, like, speedrun-wise, it's just finish the level. A couple of these runners have certain strats where they pick up items to get extra points. Just like Squiddy did there. Squiddy's going to go for some extra coins here, which is important for their strategies of the shop. We'll see if... Oh, that is unfortunate. Squiddy fell down the hole there. But, you know, it happens sometimes. So, this is the room that Castle's in right now is the Squid Grind. We're going to see how he does. This item block here is an RNG block. We can see what he gets. He just gets a coin. But sometimes you can get a fast flower or slow flower. And, we'll see if Squiddy gets it here. So far, Castle is doing good. Yeah, he just gets a coin. So after their grinds are over, I'll talk about the possibilities from that block. Castle had a solid grind. He's at 30... Oh, God, he's almost at 35k. That's great. That is like the ideal position that you're going to want to be. He's essentially going to be set for entering the pit. Oh, unfortunately, Squiddy fell to the ground. He's going to get the level up, which is nice. He should be fine, but he's going to be pretty far behind Castle. I think he'll be alright. Squiddy knows, has knowledge of extra areas to pick up some level. So, getting high level early on, I mean, you see, like, literally they were on the same exact section, and Castle got almost 35k, Squiddy has 22k. There's a big difference there. So for the pit, you're gonna want to get to at least 60k, I think, before room 19 or 25. Like room 19, if you get it before room 19, that's, you know, ideal, but you could still get past that room. However, room 25, if you're not level, you know, if you're not at 60k level, you're not gonna make it past that room. So I think Castle will pretty much be set if he does the 1-3 grind well, which is a pretty, like, it's a much simplified grind compared to this one that the runners just did. But Castle's got a significant lead. He had a really solid grind there, as well as he didn't stick around to get coins. I'll see what his shop strat is going to be in this level. So 1-2 is about coin collecting as well as going to the shop to get items. There's a couple items that the runners are going to get for this run, mainly 2 Fire Burst for the Racktail fight at the very end, which, I mean, I'll sort of briefly discuss what the items do, but later on when we get to them, I'll talk about their uses, you know, where we got them from. But a lot of these runners just have prior knowledge of items to get, items to buy, coins to collect, you know, just stuff like that. They have a lot of prior knowledge of this game that helps them complete this run more efficiently, I guess you can say. But so far, this room that Castle's in right now, this is just letting down the bridge. We're going to be doing this twice. Your Castle strat is Monk S, so I'm going to be pretty interested to see what he does here for the shop. But I will talk about this level real quick. 1-2 in any percent normally has a trick that is done called Restreamed jump by a majority of top runners. Yeah, Restreamed jump incoming, but no, it's not done in this category, thankfully, because you need 50 coins to buy a Restream, and we have such little coins currently. I mean, you can see how little coins Castle has, and even though Squiddy picked up a couple extra coins, he's nowhere close to 50. It's just a waste of coins to get, because you can also, like, you're gonna need to get Fire Burst, and it's the thing with Restreamed jump is that it is a 1-frame trick in midair. If you get it, your run continues. If not, you're gonna either lose a lot of time or you're gonna have to reset. It's really, currently now, no runners go for it, but I could see it being done in the future. Like, I don't know how soon, if anyone would be crazy enough to do it, but it could technically be done. And it could technically save time. So we'll see if that happens in the future, but currently, all pit runners right now just stick to doing this level normally, which is honestly a good thing. So didn't Squiddy, that's a nice catch there. Okay, so we got a Shroom Shake. I wasn't even paying attention to what Castle bought. I'm assuming it was just Fire Bursts. So Squiddy's got 2 Shroom Shakes currently, and he's gonna do 2 Fire Bursts. That makes sense. So yeah, that's a good strat. So Squiddy got some extra coins to get some extra heals, which is very important in the pit because anything can go wrong. You know, you take a couple extra hits in certain rooms and you're down to like critical level. It's very important to keep these things in mind early. There's going to be a bit of RNG in the pit with item drops as well as Flim spawning. And if Flim spawns, you can get a bunch of different items depending on how many coins you have. So we'll talk about that when it gets there. But other than that, yeah, like I said, the 2 Fire Bursts are going to be used for the Racktail fight, but these runners now are just going to be finishing 1-2 and getting out of here. So Castle is significantly further ahead, I'd say about probably 30-40 seconds ahead. I think I could, you know, it's just a rough estimate. But Squiddy's currently in the Thoreau room. Castle is talking to Watch It. There's a bunch of things you need to do to complete this level, but like I said, live stream jump would skip going down, getting Thoreau, talking to Watch It, going to this green guy's house. It would skip that, and in any percent, it saves around 1:30 to 2 minutes. It's roughly in there. I don't know the exact time, but in any percent, it does save time to go for when you're at a top level. However, for pit percent, currently no runners go for it, which I'm perfectly okay with because it's a one frame. It's a one frame trick. We'll see if it gets implemented in the future, but currently it is not for this category. So the green guy is kind of a clown. He kicks you out of his house regardless of what response you get. He literally asks the same question that the red guy asks. Castle got a gold, which is sick. A gold on English is pretty cool. I don't know if Castle does runs a pit on Japanese, but oh, I should mention the difference. Both runners are playing on English, which is a good thing for this tournament, but technically Japanese does save a little bit of time, not as much in this category as it does for any percent, because this category doesn't have much text to mash through, but text mashing is faster on Japanese, just because of the way the game's laid out. Castle's going for this this grind right here, and he does a pretty solid job. He's already at 44. I should talk about the fast flower again. You get, ooh, that's a really good drop. You got a 10 HP Peachy Peach drop, which is really nice. On English, yeah. Okay, so the bad thing with Japanese is that you can crash at any point on Japanese, and that's why most runners, whenever they do a tournament, are not about to play Japanese during a tournament run, because it's very possible you can crash just by going into any door, entering any room. It's really weird. We haven't really figured it out, but and it doesn't save too much time for this run. It does save a lot of time for any percent, but yeah, you just saw Castle did a squiglet jump, which basically you use this coconut to jump over and skip a long animation. Actually saves a lot of time, but it's pretty cool. Squiddy is just now entering 1-3. He's gonna do the grind. Castle is already on the chunks fight, pretty far ahead. So we'll see if that affects. You know, again, it's still anyone's race because it's pit, but having a significant lead over your opponent is very useful when it comes to this category. So Castle's on the chunks fight currently, and it looks to be going well. I think he'll be able to get him. He might just need like one more. There we go. That is good. So chunks is very, very random. Chunks can throw you, like, you know, grab you, or he can just be really nice to you and let you just bounce on his head 10 times in a row. So it's there's definitely some RNG in that fight, and it can be a pain for certain runners, but thankfully that was a good chunks. So Squiddy's going to be going into that fight as well. He's actually not that far behind that I thought he was. Castle is doing ICS. It looks like he has a good setup here. This is Ice Turtle Skip. Nice, he got it. So yeah, Ice Turtle Skip is using Thoreau, grabbing the Ice Turtle and getting hit by its little potion that it shoots. And then after you break out of its ice, then you can jump on it. Like, it'll basically put the Ice Turtle above your head at a higher Y position. You can jump up to that door. If you're not in front of him, he won't throw you. That is actually good to know, because that is that's a problem that a lot of runners have. As you see, like, Chunks tried to throw Squiddy there, but thankfully Squiddy was up in the air. That just happens sometimes. So apparently it's where if you're located in front of him, then Chunks will attempt to throw you. That's good to know. But overall, Squiddy had a good fight as well. Really, with that fight, you're just looking to not get thrown, and they're basically shaking the Wiimote in midair to get some extra level as well. Castle's already in 1-4, and 1-4 brings up a really cool trick that was recently found. I say recently, but it's been like 8-9 months now, I think. It's been a long time. Ooh, Squiddy unfortunately missed ICS. Sorry if I'm going back and forth there. There's a lot going on. But Castle's going to be going for key early, I believe. But it's still one of our, even though it's like 8 months old, it's still one of our most recent tricks. And basically what key early is clipping out of bounds, landing in the sand, and basically seam walking to get behind a wall and grabbing a key. And that skips going into an entirely different room, hitting a block, doing a puzzle, and it saves a solid, I think, 15 seconds is what I've been told before. There's a bunch of different timings for it. Castle's going to go for it here. Very nice clip. And he is going to get it first try. That was really good. That was a really, really good key early. That's one of the best I've ever seen, if I'm honest. That was really good. See, that probably saved like the most amount of time you could save, which is that, like, it looks like it saved probably over 20 seconds. I have no idea. I'm not a time expert. That's not my criteria. But yeah, the rest of 1-4, besides key early now, is really just linear. It's just going into a room and completing the room's puzzle. Sub 8. Oof, that is really good pace, because that was a clean clip. I'm not surprised at all. So yeah, Castle's actually on like a really good run right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, this has been a really solid run. Barely any mistakes. Ladder jump. Good stuff. Squiddy's in 1-4 as well. Squiddy's not too far behind him. I'd say probably around 30 seconds. Couple rooms behind. But Squiddy, I believe Squiddy goes for key early as well. We'll see if he does. Oh no, he's gonna skip it. That's fair. If you're not really confident with your practice in key early takes a lot of practice to get used to. So it's honestly just better going and doing this the normal way. Which this is the normal way of doing it. But yeah, Squiddy's almost a minute behind. Okay, that makes more sense. But yes, as Castle said in chat, Squiddy does have a better chance to finish because of Castle's lack of heals. And, you know, Castle is pretty far ahead on leveling. Squiddy's at like 40k right now. Castle's at 55. I'll see if Castle goes for the HP plus strat. He did shop. Oh, you didn't even do shop, did you? Did you completely skip that shop? Because that probably makes a lot of sense, because I wasn't even like paying attention during that. Otherwise, it's like 30 seconds. I see. Alright, that makes a little more sense. Okay. So anyways, as I was saying with 1-4, basically the last part of 1-4 here is this Fractale fight. The final fight here with Fractale is very similar to the final boss of the Pit of JcrRiles. There's Fractale and Ractale. Ractale has a little more HP, and it takes a little more hits. Significantly harder, but still, neither of these fights I would really consider that to be that difficult. There's going to be a main strat that both runners will do here in skipping this whole animation cycle that you're going to see here. So Fractale normally flies in the air, attacks you, flies across the screen, and then you can jump on his back. And that whole animation takes 40 seconds. We're only going to be seeing that once, hopefully, from both runners here. Castle has a really cool strat that you'll see him do here where he flips, and he'll actually damage boost through Fractale's head to get on him, and this strat is really sick in my opinion. So that was solid. And Castle's actually going to stand closer to the screen to spawn Fractale closer to him. It's a really cool strat, and it actually does save a solid like 2 or 3 seconds here. So yeah, Castle's basically a damage boost right onto his back. But we're hopefully not going to see that animation again. Because after Castle gets 3 hits in, he's going to go to the left side of Fractal's head and jump off and land on Fractal's head again after he does basically a loop in midair. So this is a big strat for all runners, and it actually does save a solid amount of time. So Castle's going to go for it. He's got it. That was actually really solid. And then Castle's going to land right at the spot where you spawn the those little robots on his head. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to spawn a third one. Oh, he's right. He almost did fall. There's a little spot in his head when he's like still in the process of doing a loop where you can actually fall. That was a really solid Fractal though, still. So, that was really good. But yeah, that's basically the strat. And if you fall down at all, you're going to have to watch that 40-second cutscene again. So normally, you're intended to fall down twice and watch basically like a minute and a half worth of cutscene on the ground. So we skip a lot here in this level is basically what I'm trying to say. But that was a solid fight. Hopefully Squiddy gets this as well. I don't know if Squiddy goes for the flip strat. It's not too big. I think only a few runners go for it. But yeah, for basically the next few minutes, it's going to be mostly cutscene here. There's a couple things I'll talk about, but this final cutscene of the chapter is just mashing, really. So, I mean, really solid run for both players, if I'm honest. This has been a really good race so far. And come time for the pit, you know, we'll see how both runners fare out in the pit, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Squiddy's on Fractal currently. Oh, and both runners, you'll see they like stand on a seam of his head too. It's been sort of tested and it's been kind of confirmed that those robots spawn quicker if you're on one of those like little seams of his head. So that's why, you know, most runners stand there. And then they get like 3 or 4 to spawn in a row, which is ideal. So Squiddy gets that first jump, and then he's going to go for the final one right here. And he's got it. So good stuff from both runners. Really good beginnings. Castle is quite a ways ahead. But I don't know if he has both fire bursts. I don't think he does. I think he completely skipped the shop. I could be wrong though, because I didn't see it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, solid run so far. Oh, I should talk about this room that Castle's in right now. So Castle is technically in Chapter 8 currently. He is in Count Bleck's castle. And it's been theorized that we can do a sequence break in this room. If we were to somehow gain a lot of height and go up top the right wall that you'll see over here, this right wall right here, there is actually a pipe over on that side, and if we enter that pipe, we can actually sequence break and send ourselves to Chapter 8-1, right after Chapter 1. And it is possible, and it has been tested. However, currently, we don't have a lot of things. We don't have any way of getting up that wall, and even if we did, we'd still need a bunch of different things that we're missing currently this early into the game. And by not having them, we can't even like complete the game really. So it's quite an interesting study, but it's pretty cool. So Squiddy just now finishes Chapter 1-4 up, going into the same cutscene that Castle's in. This will be really like the last main part. This intermission cutscene is really the last main part of text mashing. And then the last level that we'll be doing is 2-1. We won't even be completing it. We're just gonna go in and get the Pixel Boomer. And then after that, it's time for the pit. That's when things get really, really interesting. So that's pretty cool. there are a couple more strats that I'll talk about in both these levels, but the fun stuff really starts when we get to the pit, and that's when a lot of RNG kicks in. So we'll see how both runners do there. I'm going to refresh their streams. Hope everyone's doing well and enjoying this so far. Hope I'm doing an okay job at commentary. But things will get better once we get to the pit. Because there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So right here, this cutscene that we're in, we're back in Flipside. We actually, you'll remember, we picked up a fire burst. Refresh the stream. Yeah, I'll go ahead and refresh it. I'll refresh yours. Alright, I think I refreshed both. So I think that's accurate. I mean, I hope it is. So, we'll go with it. But yeah, in Bestovius' house in chapter 1-1, we picked up a fire burst, and that is going to be used during this cutscene. Now what's going on right here on Castle screen is basically this guy's telling this that right below the Flipside Tower, a girl basically fell and she's passed out. Normally we're supposed to go to the right here. You'll see Merlin walk off with this guy. And the game wants us to go to the right, however we have the prior knowledge of what we need. So we're actually going to go to the left and go to Saffron and cook a spicy soup with the fire burst that we picked up earlier. And then we're going to use the return pipe, and then we're going to go to that girl that's passed out, who's actually Peach. And then basically Merlin's going to ask us, oh, get a spicy soup, and we already have it. So there's a lot of that. If you watch an any percent run, there's a lot of prior knowledge aspect that comes into doing that run. So that is very important. For Pit as well, but mostly any percent. I'm getting ready to run and get my Kool-Aid, says CastleWarrior01. This guy's a legend. I got my water right here, taking a few sips. I'm gonna be doing that a lot during Pit. I hope I've been doing good commentary so far, because, I mean, I'm just gonna be rambling when we get to the Pit. There's so much to talk about. Yeah, the real strats. Getting Kool-Aid, going to the bathroom during your run. Big strats. So yeah, once we wake up Peach, Peach is going to join our party, and we're basically going to be able to play as Mario or Peach for the rest of the run. Mario can flip in 3D, Peach cannot. However, Peach can float, basically like fly over different gaps with her parasol, as well as if you hold down, you can be mostly invincible from all directions. So it's pretty... Peach can be pretty useful, however, she's not really used that often in the Pit. It's going to be mostly Mario, and I'll go ahead and talk about the pixels as well, because we got Thoreau in 1-2. Thoreau, you've seen him used so far. He can be used to pick up blocks or pick up enemies and throw them. And then we're going to get another pixel in 2-1, who's probably going to be the most important pixel that we get for this run. Boomer. Boomer is basically a bomb that will allow us to blow up any enemies or, you know, defeat. There's certain enemies in the Pit that we have to have Boomer to defeat, so it's pretty essential for this run. However, Boomerless Pit has been completed before, but not in like an RTA run. It's been like done with like a save file. It can definitely be done RTA, I believe. I don't know if it would be faster than this route so far, so we'll have to see. But Castle's going to the Pure Heart Pillar right now. Squiddy is going to use the return pipe and give the spicy soup to Peach. So yeah, I'd say about Squiddy's probably, that's pretty accurate, probably a minute behind Castle. However, Squiddy has the items he got in the shop with you know, the shroom shakes, fire bursts. I don't exactly know what Castle has, if he even has anything. Oh, this is going to be a cool strat. If you look at Castle's screen here, he's going to pick up this squig, or squiglet, toss it, That's unfortunate. That's easy to mess up. But yeah, you're basically just toss it there, jump on it. You're intended to go to the very left side of the room and use Peach to float over to this pillar, but you can literally just do that with Squiglet, and it's way faster. So yeah, Castle's gonna head into 2-1. There's a couple things in 2-1 that we're gonna do. I will say right now, Castle got his Kool-Aid. This guy's about to pop off. Watch out. He's got his gamer juice. Crazy. That's why he missed the throw. He was running to get Kool-Aid. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it does make sense. So 2-1. I do want to talk about this. In any percent, you'll see most runners go for a strat called Boomer Skip, where normally we would buy an extra Shell Shock some point before 2-1. And what you would normally do is there's a set of 5 rooms that you can go into. Actually, there's a set of 4 doors that you can go into at the end of this level. And normally you're required to go down a pipe, complete a couple puzzles, and then get Boomer, and that takes about like a minute to do that. As well as like come back up through the pipe and come up to the rooms. So normally you're supposed to have Boomer. However, in any percent, runners actually skip this by doing Boomer Skip, where you basically go in the far right room, you use a Shell Shock, make it double the size, and then you pick it up, flip in 3D, and you toss it through a hole in the ceiling, and it'll hit a switch above you, and you'll basically skip the whole process of getting Boomer. That is a really good drop, I think, that Castle just got. I think he got a Peachy Peach again. So that is good. But basically the point I'm trying to say is that the runners are not going to do this here. I think it's a little faster to just get Boomer and return pipe, since we don't actually complete this level. This strat right here that Castle's doing is called Goomba Jump. He got it. Basically, you take a couple seconds to go back and get these PAL pills, and you'll be able to jump on this Goomba at the height of its jump, and you'll be able to skip going all the way to the right in this room. This actually saves a lot of time, and it's really cool. There's another way of skipping this as well, but it's a little bit slower. Goomba Jump is the fastest way of doing this. And the PAL pills are important to destroy a couple flying Goombas that are all throughout this level. Because going back this way, where Castle's going, if you have a bunch of Goombas flying in your face, it can be a little rough. You got a catch card drop, but didn't pick it up. Catch card drops, there's quite a few drops that I'll talk about. They can sometimes be useful if you get Amazy Daisy RNG in the pit, which I'll talk about that later. But okay, Castle just leveled up to 60k. That's really good. Leveling up to 60k before the pit is very, very ideal. It's actually like better than normal. However, again, he's kind of a little low on items. He's actually gotten 2 healing drops, so he's not crazy far behind, but I don't think he has the fire bursts like Squiddy does, so hopefully RNG can be kind to him as well. But Castle's gonna do these next 2 rooms and get Boomer, and then that'll be it for 2-1. And then it'll be time for the pit, which is very, very entertaining. Castle is on world record pace at the moment. I don't doubt it, honestly. This has been a really, really solid beginning, because, I mean, and he's gotten really lucky. He's gotten 2 healing drops, and that's about as many that Squiddy bought in the shop, and I think Castle completely skipped the shop. Yeah, world record sponsored by Kool-Aid. We'll see if it does record. The thing with Pit is there's so, like I've said this a lot, but there's so much RNG involved that your run can change like any second. It's just crazy. Oh, Squiddy got Squiddy got a horsetail drop, but he's not going to be able to pick it up. That's a 7 HP drop. That's kind of unfortunate. Alright, so Castle Return Pipe. That is it for... He actually had a sub 40. I don't know exactly what his return pipe time was, but it was like a 39.50 something, I think. So yeah, he's on a really, really good run right now. So this is pretty cool. But basically, Castle's immediately going to go to the pit here. There's a couple things that can be done. I don't know if Castle will do them. Normally you can just blow up the blocks on a pipe with Boomer. However, you can either do a floor clip or flip in 3D and do a specific jump and you'll land on a pipe. It's really... There's a bunch of ways that you can get into this pipe, but the intended way is just placing Boomer down and using him. And I believe that's what Castle's going to do here. Yeah. But for doing Boomerless Pit, the way you get into that pipe is just like I said, you can either floor clip or flip in 3D. There's a bunch of different routes. And then we'll see if Castle does this squiglet rock jump up here, or if he goes for HP plus, he will not. So yeah, he's gonna spawn in the blocks with Tippy. But what some other runners do is you can actually flip to throw and grab that purple squiglet, toss him up on that left ledge, and then jump on his coconut to get up on that block. And that skips spawning in those blocks with Tippy, but I don't think it actually saves time. So overall, it's really no big deal. It's more of a cool thing to do. So yeah, Castle's gonna go right into the pit, and here we go. So, Squiddy's wrapping up Boomer right now. He'll be right. He's about like a minute behind him. But I want to talk about a couple things with the pit first. So, like I said, leveling is important. Castle right now is at 61k. Tippy is faster, I'd imagine. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought, honestly. But the squiglet strat is cool. Okay, so Castle is at 61k. Basically how leveling works is it alternates between increasing your health by 5 health points or giving you an extra attack. So we're gonna go back and forth every level. 60k was the attack, so Castle's pretty... I think he's on his second attack currently. The next level up is 90k, then the next is 120, the next is 160. It's good to keep those numbers in mind as you go through the run, so you know when to level up. Because when you level up, you basically regenerate health, and it is very, very useful. So I will say this, a lot of things in the pit are random. You'll see this, each room is basically full of a certain amount of enemies, and when you enter the room, one of those enemies is set to have the key to leave the room that you're in and go into the next room. Which enemy has it is completely random, and it's basically, it doesn't change throughout the room. It starts like, it's determined right as you enter the room and it doesn't change. So there are a couple other random things. So the entry and exit door placements are mostly random, however there are definitely some similar spots. There's like common locations. Certain enemy locations are also random as well. Stuff that isn't random, the room layouts are not random. I believe they're always going to be the same for each room. So it's important to memorize the layouts as well as where the doors can spawn. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into this pit. You'll see 3D being used a lot, especially in the later rooms, because there's certain enemies that can flip into 3D along with you. And if you flip into 3D, you can actually get them all down on the bottom level with you, and, you know, you could use, say, like a Koopa shell to kill them all. It is, it's very useful to know this, you know, a bunch of this information, but right now, Castle's going through room 1 through 9. I think he's having a solid 1 through 9 so far. Most of the enemies early on here are very basic. They're very basic, like squiglets, Goombas. There's a couple things. You'll see Sproingwings. They're the little springs that are on the ground. By holding a tall jump, you can actually break them into 3 and get quite a bit of level from them, so that's important for a lot of runners to do, especially if you're low on level, like Squiddy is right now. So Squiddy's going to want to get to 60k. by room at least 25. 19 would be ideal as well, in case he gets Koopa Trolled, but he can also kill the Koopa Troll with certain different items. We'll see. We'll see if it gets to that point. Yeah, it's important to know certain different strats going into all these rooms. So I think Squiddy will be alright. He's definitely getting some level here with the Spornglings as well. Castle, I think, already finished 1 through 10. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think he's on room... going into room 12 currently. Let me look. Yeah, Castle's in room 12, and then Squiddy is in, like, room 4, maybe? Can't exactly remember. We'll see. Squiddy's going into room... what is this? Room 5. Okay. So, they're definitely certain ways away from each other. However, with the pit, anything can change. Right now, though, Castle's getting some great RNG. So, I'll talk about RNG. If you look in the top right corner, there's always going to be a timer that counts down from 5 minutes. If that timer were to run out, you would die, and you would be able to finish the pit. However, that really doesn't happen when you run this category, unless you get, like, very terrible RNG, like a Mazy Daisy, and you can't kill it whatsoever. Something to that extent, but I don't believe any runners will be killed by the time limit here. However, you can use the time limit to judge how well your run's going, or at least how well your room's going. I would say, like, the perfect room is leaving the room before 4:55 has passed. That's like an absolute perfect room. I've seen some 4:57s. That's amazing, you know? But, yeah, there's a lot of different times you can get in different rooms. I'll try to talk about different enemies that are important here. The Koopa Shell will basically go back and forth in 3D. And the only bad thing about a Koopa Shell, I believe, is that they can despawn. However, there's certain turtle enemies that won't despawn. I'll get to them later, like Buzzy Beetles. So, it's important to keep your eyes on them at all times in 3D, whenever you send them off. Castle's playing these rooms really well right now. This is like the perfect way to play different rooms. Squiddy's on room 11 currently, which is not bad at all. Let me see where Castle is. Castle's in 16, so Squiddy actually had a really, really good first 10 rooms, and he's kind of catching up here, which is nice. Unfortunately, he got bad, oh, nice, that's a really good, okay. He's gonna go for this, and he's gonna get it, but it's a really good strat here, where you can basically land on this lock and skip going all the way up and around. That is really cool knowledge of room layout right there. Okay, so Castle, I think, is going into room 17? I could be wrong. 18, okay. So this is the first Buzzy Beetle room. That was really good RNG. But as I said before, the Buzzy Beetles will go back and forth without despawning, so they're very useful. There's a couple different enemies I'm struggling to mention. Schlurps are very slow. Oh, Castle's in room 19. This is the, what's it called? This is the Koopa Troll room, I believe. There might be like 1 or 2 more enemies here. I think one of the Koopa Shells despawned. He got really lucky there, that's good. So, you don't really want to get Koopa Trolled because that enemy takes forever to kill at such a low level. Unless you have an item, which I don't believe Castle does. So, he got decent RNG there. I think he'll take that. Squiddy's going on right now. So I guess the bad thing about not having fire bursts early on is that Castle will have to do this room like he's doing it now. Normally if you have a fire burst, you can actually kill like 3, 4, or 5 of these enemies right in a row. These are basically Spinies. And they take a couple hits to kill. Unfortunately, Castle's getting some bad luck here, which happens with this room. There's a couple enemies I'm forgetting to mention here. So Tyloids is the enemy that Squiddy's on currently. Those enemies can basically climb through walls, or climb on walls, around walls, on ceilings. They're very difficult to deal with sometimes, but they're not too difficult. Right now, Castle's dealing with boos. And these really aren't too bad. You're basically going to just turn your back to them, allow them to fly towards you, so you can kill them pretty easily with Boomer. There's a lot of cool strats that are used on these enemies. There's a couple enemies to watch out for. Cherbils are pretty easy to kill, however, they're also pretty easy to get hit by. Sometimes they like to fly higher and get stuck on the ceiling. That way you won't be able to kill them unless you're above with Boomer. Sleepy Sheep. He's low on HP here, Castle is. He's on 4 HP. I think the next level, yeah, the next level is 90. So he could try to hold it out here. He's on room, I want to see what room they're on. So Squiddy going into 20, Castle's on 24. Squiddy's really caught up with the hit so far. He's had some good RNG. Castle may have to use a heal here coming up soon, but we'll see. Because these, especially these sprung oinks can sometimes just really be a pain. Yeah, he's gonna just use one of those Peachy Peaches, which is not a bad idea at all. So as you'll see, Squiddy is actually gonna use this Fire Burst that he either picked up or bought an extra one of. It's very useful for these rooms, and you can kill that enemy very, very fast, as you can see, and literally just get the key instantly. This is the room 25, that Castle's on. This is the room where you're going to want to have Boomer, as well as be leveled up to 60k, which Squiddy is not yet, but he's getting close to doing so. I think he'll be fine before room 25. I don't know what room he's going into now. He's going into room 23 now, so he's got 2 rooms to do it. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be fine. I'd imagine he'd be fine here. He got past room 19, which is good. Yeah, he'll level up here. Unless he just decides to go for the next room here. But he's definitely going to want to do that before room 25. Yeah, he leveled up. Alright, good. Good stuff. Good stuff from both runners so far, honestly. This has been a pretty good race. So, Squiddy's good to go. However, Castle is way more leveled than he is. And that may come in handy later in his run. Because being underleveled is not ideal, especially if you lose a lot of health. So yeah, basically this Chain Chomp, you would not be able to kill him unless you're at 60 attack. That was unfortunate. $60k is what I meant, but yeah. Okay. There's quite a few. I want to do a room check here real quick, and then there's quite a few enemies I have not mentioned so far. Hope I'm doing a good enough job here, because there's a lot to talk about. 26. This is the first Daisy room. So, that's unfortunate. Squiddy tried to do a pipe jump there. He'll probably get it, but Castle's on 29. Squiddy has caught up a decent amount. Castle has not had the best of RNG. As well as, you know, not having certain items has not helped them. But there's a bunch of things that go into this run. He is very leveled up. He does have 3 health. I think he should be fine. He'll level up eventually. And then this enemy right here is a, what is this, room 29. Oh, that is unfortunate. That happens sometimes. Okay, that's good. So yeah, room 29. I forget what those are called, but they're basically guard dogs that you have to, you can only kill from their little bump on the back. Castle's going into 31 through 40 right now. This is the Tyloid room. He's gonna try his best to level up without using a heal. He's got 1 health. He should be able to get this right here. One of these Tyloids will do it. Or 2, maybe another. Yeah, I just used that. There we go. He's leveled up. He's good to go. I have no idea, dude. He had 1 health. He was taking it as close as he could. He does have an extra heal. I think he skipped the shop. I could be wrong. He got 2 Peachy Peach drops. I think he also has a Shroom Shake in his inventory. I know he used 1 Peachy Peach, but Castle should be fine for now. He is leveled up. So, he's on room 33. I should talk about these Cursias. So Cursias, when you flip in 3D, they'll fall to the ground. However, basically, they're very easy to kill with Boomer. You just don't want to run into them because they'll give you a curse of some sort. And the curses aren't too big of a deal unless you get one like D-jumping where you can't jump high at all. There's also some that take away your ability to flip or take away, like, invert your controls in some way. There's a bunch of different Cursia curses, so. Squiddy's in room 29. I should have mentioned that 29 has a really weird room layout, where the door can sometimes, and this isn't just for this room, but sometimes the door will be in an area that you can only access through a pipe. So, and sometimes that can lose a little time compared to different room layouts. It's important in those rooms to find the door as soon as possible, or while you're killing the enemies. That way it'll make it easier as you go on to have the knowledge of where you're going to have to go after you find the key. Moving on here, Squiddy's going into, he's in 31 right now, and he's going to go into 32. Coming up next, Castle's going into 36. A little further ahead of him, way more level up than Squiddy is, so we'll see how that comes into play. Doesn't have as many items. I don't think he has the fire bursts either. This was the ninja room, the first ninja room. There's, you know, get ready, there's plenty left. Ninjas are very weird, and they honestly, it's completely random if they actually die or not. They can either die or turn into a bomb. And if they do turn into a bomb, they'll take a little bit to respawn, so they can be kind of annoying, is basically what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, I mean, so far, the RNG has been, I think Squiddy definitely got some really good early RNG, because Squiddy was a minute behind, and now, he caught up by quite a few rooms. At least it looks like it did. I could be wrong, but I want to go through and see if I've skipped mentioning any enemies here. Spinies, I didn't mention those. No, actually, I did mention those. Never mind. Oh, the Koopa Troll, I guess I kind of mentioned them, but basically, you'll see more of them later in the run, but they both got by the Koopa Troll room. They're not going to be as big of a deal later in the run, but they're pretty tough to kill. And you can only kill them with Boomer. Okay, Castle's in 40 right now, so Magic Koopas, I did not mention this. Magic Koopas have this little, have these, what do they call it? Like a projectile that they shoot at you. And the projectile does more than their actual body damage. Castle got a fire burst drop, which is really good for him. That is one fire burst that he needs for Racktail, or that he can use on one of the other rooms. It's really his choice. But that's a pretty good drop to get there. But yeah, Magiblots, you'll see some runners honestly take body damage over taking damage from the projectiles. There's a lot of more enemies like that. This is the Clubba room, and this room can be very annoying, as you can see. Clubbas do 3 damage, and they can, their hitbox, especially their little, their little stick that they hold, it does, like, it's a really weird hitbox. Castle's down to 5 HP. He'll likely have to use a heal coming up here. Oh my god, he's getting sniped by the Pokey. This is unfortunate. Sometimes it just happens, like in those rooms. He took a lot of damage from Clubbas there. So yeah, he's got one more heal after this. He's gonna use the Peachy Peach. He has a Shroom Shake, which is 10 HP. He might have to get really close or get some good Phlegm RNG, which I don't believe either runner has gotten Phlegm yet. That can be very important when it comes to the pit. So these are the Koopa Strikers. They basically, honestly, like you saw there, you can literally use their shells against them and just wreck them with their own shells. It's really cool. They're pretty easy to get, but they're also, you know, it's pretty easy to take damage in this room sometimes, because those shells just go flying. Squiddy's in room 38, Castle's in room 44. So Castle, I think, is a little further ahead. Oh, Castle unfortunately got cursed there. He has the slow curse, which can definitely be a bad thing to have in a speedrun. But that's just the bad part about Cursias. You know, Cursias can really do that. Even one, even one Fire Burst from Fractail is okay. It's good to at least have one. Basically for Ragtail, we'll talk about it more when we get there, but Ragtail takes 10 hits, and the first cycle you can do 5 hits with a Fire Burst. So, and really you only need to do attack on the first cycle. That was an unfortunate room there. Sometimes that happens RNG-wise, where you just get the very last enemy, like last key. Castle's in 45. This is another Tyloid room. We've seen quite a few different colors of Tyloids, as it is. The red ones are going to move faster. The yellow ones are the fastest. The red ones have quite a bit of health. The blue ones have health as well. The green ones have the least amount of health, and yellow does not have that much health either. So we'll get to them. You know, it's just good to know like which enemies are easier to kill, so you know which ones to kill first. This is another instance of flipping in 3D to allow enemies to drop down. Castle's gonna do like a small grind here. He tried killing that Koopa shell, but unfortunately got hit the wrong way. Squiddy's in the Clubber room and he has 1 health. This is not good. He's gonna have to use a Room Shake. This Clubber room is a very, very unfortunate room for a lot of runners. This is cutting it really close. Yeah, those Clubbos do like 3 damage, and it is, they're not fun to deal with. They're only fun to deal with when they're above a low ceiling, or under a low ceiling, I should say. And they're much easier to kill. Castle's going Pog, so I'm assuming he levels up soon. Or he luckily got out of this Clubber room. We'll see, though. Yeah, Squiddy's gonna have to keep an eye on his health here. He's close to leveling up, so he should be okay. The Pokies can be annoying, but he should be fine, like I said. Castle's gonna level up here, so that's why he pogged in the chat. Yeah, that was good. That is really good. And I think Squiddy's gonna level up here soon as well, hopefully. I hope. Yeah, he should level up here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was good, honestly. So, I mean, not bad runs for either runners. They both just leveled up, fresh on, they're kind of low on heals, but we'll see how that goes. This is going to be an extra leveling room for Castle as well, this spiny room. So, like I said with Buzzy Beetles, they don't despawn. So you can literally just let one go across this screen and wreck all these spinies, and you'll get a lot of points from it. So it's very important to do that. Especially if you're low on health, or low on level, whatever I'm trying to say. Trying to see where both runners are. Castle's making pretty good progress. He's on room... Oh my gosh, these Pigorhythms are crazy, especially when you get them down to their final form there. That was a pretty good play there. Pigorhythms give you a lot of coins, so... Castle has actually a lot of coins. He just doesn't have any Flim spawns so far, I don't believe. It's definitely not uncommon for runners to get unlucky Flim spawns. I should mention that Flim is basically a guy you can purchase items from every 10 rooms. And sometimes he'll spawn, sometimes he won't. It's completely random. And a majority of the time you really don't see him that much, but there are some runs where you can see him every now and then. I've definitely had runs where I never see him until like the very end when I don't really need anything anymore. But he's good to get early on in one of these early rooms, like I'd say room 30 or 40. Even 50 or 60 after you've gotten a lot of coins. There's a couple different items you can purchase from him, like I'm trying to think what it's called. Oh, a Thunder Rage is going to be very useful if you're able to buy one of those. Any heals, if you're low on heals, that's important to buy as well. I don't think Squiddy's gotten any Flim spawns as well, so this is going to be interesting to see. This is another club room for Castle. Squiddy is, you know, this whole room, I think it's room, I don't know what it's called, or what number it is. It's like 50 or 40 something. Yeah, that was room 48. That room is just painful, because with the Magic Koopa's projectiles, and just the club is doing 3 damage, I mean, it's a pain to deal with sometimes. So Squiddy's actually getting low on HP again, but he should be fine. He just has to take a little safe. Gotta spawn earlier with the POW block. Interesting. I've been trying to keep most of my attention to both runners, but I've definitely missed quite a few things. So, I appreciate anyone in chat helping me out, because there's been a lot to talk about, and I've been missing a lot of different stuff. So I want to do another room check here. So Squiddy's on 50. He's going into the second half of the run here. Flim spawn. Nice. That's a good spawn for Squiddy. He's getting an Ice Storm. That's very good. That's going to be useful for the later rooms. These are Dark Boos. They give you a lot of coins. And basically, they'll basically fly towards you in 3D and then spawn in 2D. And the strat here is basically just to use Boomer, as well as jump on them. Castle got a decent room there. Squiddy is on this level up room. This is going to help him a lot, actually. I think he's just going to let this shell go all the way to kill all these enemies. And that's going to help him. That's basically going to set him up for this next level up. That's very good because he's kind of low on health. So yeah, room 51 is a very helpful room for anyone that's low on XP. Alright, so Squiddy is on 52 and Castle is going into room... Let me see. 58. Okay, so Castle is still a solid 6 rooms ahead. That's a really good 58! Wow! That's one of the best 58s I've ever seen. Holy moly. Okay, 58 is a very infamous room. That is the Amazing Daisy room. There have been runners that get terrible RNG in that room. But Castle literally got a 456 on that room. That is very unheard of. I think that's only happened one other time in this marathon, or in this whole tournament. I'm telling you, that is a really good room, because if you get the Amazing Daisy spawn in that room, I mean, normally Daisies just in general, they take forever to kill, because it just takes a bunch of hits with Boomer. But getting Amazing Daisy is very bad RNG, and they take forever to kill, and they can honestly like kill certain runs, so that's really good luck on Castle's end for that room. Hopefully Squiddy has the same, because I never like seeing anyone struggle in that room. That room's a pain. Another good room for Castle. He's been getting some decent RNG here. I don't know exactly what pace he's on, but I would not be shocked if it's PB pace, at the least. Could be more. I don't want to promise anything, though. Another great room. Holy moly. So that clubber room can be a pain sometimes, especially with the Boomerang Bros, but he got first key again. This is just, I mean, this is insane. This is really, really good RNG, and this is, I haven't been paying attention to Squiddy's rooms as much, because this has just amazed me, but I think he's actually pulled ahead even more. Another solid room. A nice Ice Storm drop there. Squiddy, unfortunately, though, having a pretty bad clubber room here. That was a good 65. Yeah, almost having a 3-minute room there. That's unfortunate for Squiddy. So Castle's going into 66, and Squiddy's on 55, significantly further ahead. However, Castle is getting low on health here. He's going to use his last Shroom Shake. His next level up is 160k. So hopefully that comes his way soon. That's some unfortunate Ninja luck right there. But he did have the key, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. This is, I mean, that's why Ninjas are widely disliked in this community. They can do a lot of damage fast, and they can just prevent you from going where you want to go. He's on 67. I gotta catch up with Castle. He's going way too fast. There's a couple enemies I haven't mentioned yet. I think, yeah, Squiddy's already passed the hooligan room. Dark Boos I mentioned. Magiblots do, depending on their color, they do a lot of damage. The red ones do the most damage with 6. But the key for Magiblots is spawning them in like a corner. And just like bouncing on them, as well as using Boomer. There's a bunch of different strats you can do. Castle got through 60. What was that? 67. So he's on 68 right now. Overall, I mean, he is a little. His health is a little concerning, but he's actually really close to the next level up, so I don't think he has to worry about it too much. And this hammer bro. Yeah, he's gonna level up pretty soon here. And oh no! What happened? I didn't even see it! Oh no! I feel bad for not even seeing it, dude. I was trying to read something on Castle's screen. Oh, Squiddy died. That is so unfortunate. I don't want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, please. That is really unfortunate. I'm honestly gonna look at the clip right now. Castle's down to 3 health as well. He should level up here though. Oh no, he died too! No, dude, we have to have a rematch. Are you kidding? Oh my god. What? What just happened, dude? You gotta be kidding me. This is a first. Welcome. We're gonna have a rematch of loser semis. I don't know when. I mean, but yeah, no, we're gonna have to do a rematch. I was just about to explain this. But how this works is that if a runner dies, the other runner gets a chance to finish their run. If they finish, they win. However, if they die, we're gonna have a rematch at some point. I don't know if we're gonna do it right now or at a different time and date. I'd imagine a different time and date. Holy moly. Yeah, Squiddy can't right now. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright. That is crazy. Okay, well hey, that was really fun. We're gonna do a rematch. Don't worry, we're gonna run it back and do it again. So, that's great.